Hello, my name is Xavier Mercado, and this is Spearhead Conversations. Today, I'm joined by special guest Christian Reyes, also known as DJ Breezy. Well, let me tell you, he's from Milwaukee. He's Boricua. And let me tell you even more. He is the salsa. He is the fire. He's the... No, but he's definitely a movement in this city, and I had to ask him to come on. So I asked, he answered, and here we are. So without further ado, how you doing, Breezy?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Very New York, and I love the intro. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Yeah, man. Just I'm enjoying the summer coming to an end, man.
Who are you telling? Fall time is my favorite.
Hey, but for real,
I get enough of summer. We hype it up for like so long just till when we get here.
Yeah.
By like the second week, that's like 90 degrees. We're like, yeah, wrap this up,
bro. I'll tell you like that too. On everything I love, my whole closet is fall.
I see. You got the Tims. The Tims are ready. They're coming out already. Like we're 1 week away from September, and you're ready. I got to get mine together. I don't know where they are right now.
That's right. It's tis the season.
Tis the season. I'm ready for it.
How have you been otherwise, man? You seem busy. You out there? You DJing? You got it. Room 7 down the street.
Yes, down the street. You got to come visit us sometime. But everything's been great. Thank God. Just staying busy, trying to push the work forward, the vision forward, and trying to inspire some people along the way if possible.
There we go. Well, man, I got to say I've been following for some months now, and I'm a fan, bro.
Thank you,
like, bro. You know, I always try to look for people that, you know, I see the passion within them. And, you know what I mean? Even meeting you today, my man got a cameraman with him. Real talk. Let's shout him out real quick. Who's your boy?
Shout out to my boy Ant behind the scenes right now. One of the GOATs, one of the best, man. Came through for me, comes through for me. I appreciate him so much. He back there somewhere.
He's somewhere. But we definitely going to have to reach out, get him on the platform.
Most definitely.
I see he pulled out the camera. I'm like, damn.
You see your camera set up, and he was like, hold on.
But it's all about connections. It's all about bringing people together. And it's definitely all about moving our city forward. So you ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. No. But all right, then, let's jump in. So where were you born?
Ooh, I don't know where. No, I'm kidding. Well, I was born in, you're probably familiar with Caguas, Puerto Rico.
Yep.
Which is not too far from Gurabo, Puerto Rico, where my family grew up. And the population of that place isn't too high. As hyped up as it is now with the Puerto Rican culture and people mention it in songs and stuff, we barely just got to that point.
Yeah.
But we're talking about just a few thousand people, literally. So born in a very small place.
Yeah.
And made it here to Milwaukee.
Man, how was your childhood?
Beautiful childhood, and not that it lacked in struggles or anything of that matter. I feel like that's what defines our character, but beautiful in the sense that I was afforded things by my family that I would learn later to really value. Yeah. Which at first you obviously you don't realize them as a child, and then you get older and you're like, wow, that really did mold me and play a part in my character.
I think one of the best things that my mother ever did, I mean, it's like you say, we don't realize that we don't have it, but we had everything we needed. You know what I mean? And with that, it's kind of like this humble beginnings. You're really taught humility early on, my guy. But it's definitely something to cherish, and then also teach our children as soon as they come into existence. But what type of hobbies were you into?
When I was young, I was a really interesting kid because my mom always said that I was observant. So like while the other kids would be sitting there, you know, just kind of going crazy off the walls, how kids do, how they're supposed to. They're supposed to go play. Yeah. I would be like on the side, focused on some like. You ever been to one of those clinics or like the doctors where they used to have that thing that you would move through like the It was like a square thing, and it was like on a wire, and you
Oh yeah,
play
yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm talking about?
definitely, bro. Come on.
And I would just be sitting there like wondering the intricacies of it. You came across it, right? And I just be observing stuff like that, and I would just be super observant of what was around me. So my mom always said that I just kind of paid attention to things that were around me. So I was thankful for that.
What would you say were type of musical influences growing up?
It's crazy that we're starting at this point because I feel like this is actually what changed the trajectory of my entire life. I always used to wonder where my musicality came from as far as like not only as an individual, we all individually have our own music taste, but also as an artist and a performer. And the more and more that I look back at it, my mom and my family played a huge role in that, like the car drives, playing tons of merengue, tons of salsa, tons of bachata, and I'm sitting here sick of it for the millionth time in a row. You know it too well.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's something that would week in, week out just kind of pounded into my brain, but it became a core piece of my DNA as a person and also as an artist and a creative is my family really playing those traditional sounds around me, and really it ended up being a part of history because as you know now, Puerto Rican music and the genre that is reggaeton and all the traditional sounds are huge right now.
You know, when Bad Bunny just dropped his last album, or this, most recent album, it really tapped into that ancestry, and you gotta appreciate it. I'm originally from the South Bronx, so when I say that my summers were spent all day in the X, I was in front of, even when we were out on the stoop, out on Jackson, fire hydrant open, we swimming in this water, we in the streets, and all my titis tios there, but playing Mark Anthony, Hector Lavoe, you name it, bro. It's a vibe, but just with, man, we have such a rich culture, and for Bad Bunny to do what he did with his album, man, that's something that took me back to Malta's at the corner store, 25 cents, bro.
Little empanadillas.
That's right, baby.
Or pastelillos. I don't know.
Pastelillos, hell yeah, bro.
There's a debate in that. Do you call them empanadillas? Do you call them pastelillos?
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point,
Just go with the vibe,
but it's crazy that you mention the Bronx, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like the Bronx is when you look at movies that were sort of being released about 20 years ago, and the first wave of Puerto Ricans that came into America was primarily through New York as a whole in the boroughs, but more specifically the Bronx.
Yeah.
And when my mom first moved us from Puerto Rico, I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
She kind of took a look at the landscape and she was like, you know what, this is really country. It's very limited and I want something better for myself and my son.
Yeah.
And one of the first places that we went was Newark and then the Bronx.
Okay, got you, man.
We talked about this slightly and we touched on it.
Yeah.
And it was we were in Tremont. It didn't last too long. Eventually made it here to Milwaukee, but it's a place that I will forever hold special in my heart because I recently got to go back. And it was for July 5th weekend. And on that same weekend, Bad Bunny dropped his Nueva York video.
Yeah.
And so I'm literally on the plane and I'm looking and there's that scene in the video where it's like the Statue of Liberty with the Puerto Rican flag
on it.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, like this is like really happening right now.
Welcome back.
Yeah, like welcome back. So the Bronx is synonymous with Puerto Rican culture, and it's crazy that this is a full circle moment. You got the Timbs on you right now.
Timbos, baby. They'll always be in the closet. My wife, every year on Christmas, I know this is one of my gifts, but there's always a new pair of Timbs. It don't fail. It never ends. But I don't get no other color but the classic wheats. You know what I mean?
Gotta do the wheats. Gotta do the wheats. Some people have the black ones. Some people have like the white ones or the boneless Timbs where it's like the very thin ones. But you gotta do the OG.
Yeah, bro. So music is a big part of your life. What do you feel was the earliest memory of music that you have when it comes to thinking about it?
The earliest memory of music that I have was in Puerto Rico, actually.
Yeah.
I used to have an uncle of mine that played the guitar. And sort of my mom's side of the family was always musically inclined in the sense that they knew how to play guitar, they knew how to play accordion, or things that took notes. And they used to ride me up and down the Suzuki. How the Puerto Ricans love to do their Suzukis. They drop them real low, put neon colors on them.
That's right.
I would be in the car seat in the back and listening to Playero.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
literally
Yeah.
like Playero. And that's my earliest memory of music is listening to Playero.
You want to hear something?
I would love to.
My earliest memory is actually, Puerto Rican women. Sundays are usually clean the house day. You know what I mean?
Fabuloso.
The fabuloso, or the
The cafecito.
hell yeah, cafe in the morning, the fabuloso, smell all through but playing that, and my mom playing Pimpinela. Oh my God, bro. That type of theatrics to the music,
A full performance.
a full
In
performance.
the kitchen. Choreography.
Do the mop, mom. Do the mop.
No, literally.
Yeah.
And I think everyone with a Puerto Rican mom can sort of like attest to like
Yep.
their mom randomly out of nowhere singing out a note of a song or
Yep.
something at full volume. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
you got it.
Man, but you gotta appreciate moments like this, and ultimately it's just like that I go back to rich culture. When did you realize that music was something that you were passionate about?
I think that for me, when I realized that music was something that was passionate for me, when I got maybe like past 10 years old, and it's funny that you mentioned our moms and them being so rich in culture and that kind of being something that was ingrained into our fabric, was at a certain point, my mom got tired of playing music.
Yep.
It was like around 10 years old. She was like, you take it, pon algo en el radio. Like, you play this. And at first, it started as something like, okay, I'm going to pick one or two songs that kind of get the adults going, and they're drinking their cervezas, and they're partying, playing pool. And then I think it was around like 12 or 13 years old that I looked at it, and, not to get too deep into it, but I started realizing that the circumstances that I was handed weren't really circumstances that anyone around me could change.
Yeah.
So even though the childhood was beautiful in retrospect, there were still day-to-day struggles that I was facing, which I'm sure we all face. And as a child, I sort of became kind of privy to that. Like, I would notice, like, okay, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on in music, and just being artistic through music became more of an appeal to me to change the circumstances, because I would literally notice it change people around me.
Yeah.
Like, if you put somebody's favorite song on, if you put a throwback song on, or something from somebody's core memory of their experience in this life, you can almost visibly see the emotion expressed from them,
Yeah.
or even their energy change. So I think that when I started seeing that is when the idea first crept in my mind to think to myself, well, if I can't change everything else in a physical way, or like, I can do it in a very theoretical or artistic way, or a creative expression way. And it was just an inkling at that time, but eventually it grew.
Well, let's give your mom a round of applause. Because she's the one who planted the seed.
Yes, she did.
She planted the seed. You go ahead. You take care of this. So, at what age did you get behind it? DJing? Man.
So I started DJing when I was 13 years old.
13.
13 years old, yes.
You know who
And
you reminded me of right now?
Who?
My boy, DJ Cell.
Cell, I love Cell.
Man.
That's one of my boys. I love Cell.
Yeah.
Legitimately, it's funny because I remember seeing pictures
Yeah.
of him at the spot.
Bro, I'm telling you, we the same age. So growing up,
Yeah.
seeing that, when we did his episode, I gave him his flowers and I told him, look, you are one of the first people that I looked up to, because just you were sixth grade, DJ set right in front of you, right around the same age as you,
Yeah.
and outside a barbershop, Flip's barbershop, and just, doing his thing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, but back to you. You know what I
of course.
mean? You feel me?
Huge shout outs to DJ Cell.
Let's
by
do
the
this
way.
for Sal.
Let's do it.
My boy Sal.
Huge shout outs to Cell, a fellow record breaker DJ as well.
Yeah.
Cell is someone who I've seen, man, even throwback in the spots. Like there'd be adult OG DJs DJing, and he'd be there.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, consistent, and he'd show up and he'd play music. And when he gets to those throwbacks,
Yeah.
you know he's there. Gets on that microphone, talented guy.
So that young for you,
Yes.
how was it? How did it come about? Like, how was a DJ set just placing? You know what I mean?
I think this is probably one of the funniest stories to tell. My mom was and back to my mom because she holds a key piece of my heart. She was young when she had me.
Yeah.
So mind you, if I'm 13, she was maybe like in her 20s or like later 20s.
Yeah.
And you know, she was partying.
Well, my parents were too, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
you really
man.
can't put a limit on a Latino party.
Nope, you
or
can't.
Partying, you
They
know?
talk about the barbecue, but they have no clue how us Boricuas, you know what I mean, go at it, bro.
Too late. I'm like, all right, we've been here for so.
I'm sleeping on chairs.
Literally just between two
Metal chairs, bro.
laying down, like with a little blanket on top. And I know my Mexicans feel me because they go through
real.
They hear all that banda and they be. But it's something that, you know, from really young, there was a lot of parties going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually started playing music just through the radio, stuff like that. And then I noticed that I had somewhat of a knack for it. So more parties started happening. And I was like, you know what? I need a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it started. And I hustled my way to be able to get a laptop on my own.
Okay.
I got a laptop and I started messing around with certain DJ programs, certain design programs. And then I had the bright idea one day, and my mom was actually on board with me. She was like, I'm with it. I was like, I want to do house parties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, and if he tells you I want to do house parties, like it's not the most conventional thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was doing good in school until about this point. I had great grades until I got to maybe freshman year, like eighth grade freshman year is when that social component kicked in. And I started kind of looking at kids and what they were wearing and how they were wearing and what they were listening to. And so my focuses were elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I spoke to her. I was like, I want to do house parties. At first she was like, and then she was like, okay, maybe it's a decent way to make money. And lo and behold, it made some decent money. I ended up actually being somewhat popular, thankfully, because of a cousin that I had that was already in the high school I went to. I went to South Division High School.
South Division.
South Dawes.
Hey, what are they? The
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Yeah,
I knew it was red.
It was
bro.
red. Every time you go past there, you see it. And
for real.
one of my cousins, he was like the star tight end of the football team. And I played football too, but that's a different subject. So he actually was somewhat popular, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he told people, hey, this is my little cousin. So when I started throwing house parties, people would come to those house parties. And I'm talking about there would be lines like down the block. And like we're making money off of these things. Some of them got busted down.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
they started getting kind of out of pocket. And from the house parties, we eventually made enough money to the point where I originally asked my mom, I was like, I want turntables. And her, as much as she loves me, like it was a big ask. It was like at the time I think it was about $1,500 for some turntables, and she ended up buying me those. And that's sort of how it started in that sense of like, okay, I got equipment. I'm going to make something out of this in a way.
So you feel that was the point where it became serious for you?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the moment where it became serious in the sense like, okay, this is something I want to do.
Yeah.
To what level? I don't know yet. Sky's the limit. But this is, I think, what I want to do. School no longer has my attention. And I feel like there's always like memes and stuff going around, and even till the dawn of time where it says like, oh, my child wants to be a DJ. Like, you know?
Man, I got to give it to your mom, bro. Yeah. Mami, te amo.
Yeah, right. Shout out to your mom. Because,
man,
and to be fair, she didn't see the vision at first. Like, she knew it because she supported me because I was her child. Yeah. But did she see the vision in full?
I could totally relate to that. My wife.
Yeah.
My wife did. No one sees the vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you did it as a child, obviously I'm later on in life, but no one ever sees the vision until everything starts coming in. And consistency is something that you've stood true to. And through that, you've been knocking down these opportunities. you've been in the scene, and I mean, Room 7, along with who are other house DJs that have been there, Mr. New York.
Yeah.
We've had him on the platform. Shout out to Mr. New York.
Shout out.
But you know, some high caliber guests along with high caliber DJs like you.
Yes.
So much kudos.
Thank
but
you.
I want to ask,
Yes.
how did Breezy come about? What inspired the name DJ Breezy?
Oh man, it's actually somewhat of a. This is something I get asked quite often, actually, and it's crazy because it's like I feel like if I had a DJ name that wasn't that cool, people wouldn't care. But like it's kind of a cool DJ name, you know.
Yeah.
I know some people like a guy like DJ Christian Alexander Reyes doesn't sound too appealing, right?
Nah, yeah.
So how it eventually started was I started getting in high school. And Chris Brown was huge back then.
I was about to say, I was thinking it.
And obviously my name is Christian, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't correlate at first, right? I used to dance and stuff. I used to play football, so it kind of correlated with Chris Brown at first.
Yeah.
But then people would be like, I hate to admit this on any type of recording. But I didn't always have the coolest DJ name. I had a name that I couldn't shake for the longest.
Okay, let's get it.
I'm gonna regret this one. Redact this. I know.
Redact this.
No, they used to call me Cool Kid Chris.
Cool Kid?
So, oh no.
Why? You know what that reminds me of?
Please do tell.
That's like South Bronx, like the type of name you would get, bro.
That literally is like an old school.
That's an old school, dog.
It's an old head name.
Yeah.
And eventually that became Chris or Christian, the guy who DJs.
Yeah.
And then eventually someone put it together. I don't remember who it was. It was a long time ago. They were like, "Hey man, like your mixes are pretty smooth."
Yeah.
Oof. Like Chris.
Yeah.
DJ Chris Breezy. And I was like, DJ Chris Breezy?
Oh my God, you just got me. Damn. Okay, got you.
And then the Chris got knocked down. And then eventually it was
DJ Breezy.
And it stuck.
Man. Well, let's go more into the history now. Let's talk about your first gig. Do you remember it? And what were the emotions that, came about?
So hilarious that you would ask this, because I feel like as Latinos, like we have celebrations from very young. Like what's one of the first celebrations for like a young girl that we have as Latinos? What, a quinceañera?
Quinceañera. I was just for my nieces, my goddaughter as well, this past weekend. My whole family came in from New York. Shout out to the X.
Shout outs to the X and MKE.
And guess what? My Titi Gorlo and Wanda, they both went to South Division 2 when they...
Oh, my alumni.
Alumni.
And that's when South Division was actually good.
Hey, yeah, man.
Shout outs to the fan, because that's when South Division actually had some resources. Now, shout outs to South Division. Please don't ban me. But quinceañeras were actually my first go at, like, I would say commercial events or events that were like contracted, right? Before I got into like a nightclub, I started taking on a lot of quinceañeras because I was in that age range.
Yeah.
So I was in that like 14, 15, 16 age range. And one of the worst experiences, like I had some good ones, but like I had some that like were like older parents. They would see me come in and I would DJ, and they're sitting here. First of all, the concept or notion of a DJ to them is like far-fetched. They're used to listening to like live bands or like, a host or something. So they're already coming at me kind of, and eventually like I just had to, that's how I first got into it. And I was so nervous, and they just made it so much worse. Like they would get on my neck. Like they'd come over and they'd be like, "What are you playing?" But in Spanish, of course.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "What are you playing? Don't play this. Play something else." And I'm like,
hello?
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And then I switch it up, and then the kids are complaining. And the kids are like, "Oh, why are you playing this? This is old people stuff."
I think that is like a lesson in itself. Dynamic. You can't please everyone.
Yep. So learn that at a very young age. Yeah, that was the first, like, I would say, official gig that I had. Was a quinceañera or a sweet 16.
Do you remember the girl's name?
I don't.
No, it's all good.
Actually, no, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, her name was Sundita. And it was like a legendary quince/sweet 16.
Yeah.
Like she literally, like, there's this thing in like quince culture like back then that like, oh, do you have an invite? Do you have the
For
address?
real?
And kids that wouldn't even be invited would show up.
Hey, for real. And then you get the invite, and it's all like they had on MTV My Sweet 16 type
Sweet
shit.
16.
Well, DJing is definitely something that is a part of who you are. How would you describe your style as a DJ?
My style as a DJ, really, honestly, I'm an open format DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I'm an audiophile before anything. So I appreciate anything from classical music to house music to reggaeton to hip hop to old school hip hop to jazz to symphonies, pianos, things like that. So my style is really, I would say, very active, very punchy, but at the same time, very unexpected. You don't know what you're going to be able to get. I might give you certain pockets of like certain eras, certain music, like certain artists, and then I might just completely switch it up and take it somewhere that you don't know. So I would say that that's more of my style of DJing, and thankfully that's what's kept me sort of active and been able to graduate to newer fronts, is the fact that since I'm a fan of music first, there's nothing that I won't play, and there's nothing that I feel like that I won't play the way that I want to play it, which for me, I have the utmost respect for music. I try to play it how it's intended to be played and how it's made.
How do you feel Milwaukee has attributed to that success that you have, here? Because we have a diverse, look at our scene, man.
It's insane.
It's crazy. How do you feel that has added to your success?
First of all, amazing question. Amazing question, because I feel like this is a question that almost every artist or creative would love to hear, first and foremost. Milwaukee has had such a rich history musically, artistically as well. But musically, the way that Milwaukee kind of impacted me was going from kind of like middle school, and this is something you can relate to too. I know you do.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On the table.
Yeah.
Pencils.
You know what I mean? There was always one guy who was really good at it.
Yeah.
And
you got the basic.
Yeah.
When I first learned it, I felt super cool, and then instantly realized, man,
there's guys that are really good at it.
Hey, those 220 students, bro, my homies, dog.
Literally, it was always the kids that were like a grade or two up above,
For
or
sure.
like flunked one or two, and they were just like super grown and talented.
Yeah.
But the way that Milwaukee has really affected that and really impacted me on the way that it molded my musical journey was that Milwaukee always had a sound, and I don't think that people really paid it that much mind or that much respect until it started doing more numbers, until it started kind of catching on from a popularity standpoint. But Milwaukee's known as that 90 BPM, 100 BPM, 105 BPM, and some originators that I'm very close friends with and that I appreciate even since all the way back then. Shout outs to Ray Nitty.
Ray Nitty, we had him on. He's a good friend of mine. Hey, man, you already know, dog.
Big ups.
Big ups, bow.
Wow. And it's funny because I was just doing, and as a side note, but I was just doing a Safe and Sound event for the children, giving backpacks and stuff. And this little kid comes up to me, and he's like, I kid you not, maybe 6, 7 years old. And I'm playing Bow.
Yeah.
Clean version, of course. And he comes up, he's like, you know Ray Nitty?
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's my boy. He was like, oh, that's my uncle's best friend. He was like, I know Ray Nitty too. I was like, yeah.
Man, I got to do this for Nitty, bro.
One time for Nitty.
Ray Nitty, dog. He's always come through, you know what I mean? The way I got a hold of him was online, bro.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned him. Ray Nitty would be awesome on your platform. I was like, if you know him, let him know. We could get it. And like that, he replied on the post. And then next thing you know, we ran it. And we recently, this past year, we did a studio session. It's a line. I've done it so far with Steve Hibicki, which he was signed to Mike Will. He in his prime. He was. You ever heard Black Beatles?
By
Ray Schmer?
quick side note,
Yeah.
not to interrupt it.
Yeah.
So I actually DJ'd for Ray
Okay.
Shremmerd when they came down here in Milwaukee, like a decade and some change ago.
Yeah.
And that was one of the songs that we performed. Remember when everybody would just kind of sit there? But yes,
Okay.
that's a Mike Will made it beat.
Okay, but Steve Hibicki's the one that's really in the background.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Full circle.
I
man.
gotta give him a shout out, Steve Hibicki. But with him, Ray Nitty, I got Philly coming back.
Shout outs to Philly.
Philly Flyboy, man, another Milwaukee legend. But I do these studio sessions just to see where they are, how they're doing, and I just did it recently with DJ Sushi.
Shout outs to DJ Sushi.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely one of those things.
Yeah.
But
and that's
man.
amazing. And that's amazing that we kind of share those same people, because these are the people that have been like Ray Nitty, Munch Lauren, Twang ENT, and I feel like being a young Puerto Rican kid, right? Being in my teens and already having the traditional music and the reggaeton and the salsa and everything, and having the background in that. Yeah. I feel like coming into middle school and kind of going into high school is when I became sort of aware to that culture. Yeah. I had a lot of friends of mine that were playing that music, that were styling themselves to that music, and it really aligned me with that at a very young age. So it really diversified the way that I looked at music. And I always loved hip hop, like obviously being Puerto Rican, having the experience to be in the BX, the home of hip hop. Yeah. Always had the utmost respect for it, but now coming into Milwaukee and really feeling like a part of that community, and that's how it impacted me, because I remember those way throwback, simple 2-clap beats, and now what it's become, and the monster and the heavyweight that it's become in the TikTok world and in the dancing world, and other artists looking at us, and guys like Steve the Stoner, huge.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they do it for themselves, man. You know, like what inspired this platform, not only to show my kids, but the kids of this city, that you could be whatever you want to be.
It's factual.
You just gotta believe.
Factual.
You believe. So far up to date, I have about 160 weeks consistent. That's 160 interviews. That's a lot. That's blueprints. Every story is your story. And more. Yeah. It's just your story is a blueprint, and for these kids to know you can be you could be a Breezy, you could be a Xavier, you could be a Steve the Stoner. Definitely. If you put your mind to these things, it's possible. Definitely. Now you know very well nothing comes easy, and it comes with the work you have to put in. What do you feel were the biggest barriers for you when you first started out as a DJ at 13?
One of the biggest barriers was being taken seriously. Okay. Right? Because even though I didn't have it mapped out as to where this was all going to go, it was something that I was kind of hell-bent on doing, because I feel like I found something, right? When you find like a piece of treasure, you find something. I felt like I found something. I remember my first club gig. My first club gig was, at the time, it was called Envy. It was.
I remember Envy, bro. Come on, dog.
Remember Envy? I know. Envy was it. Yeah. And Envy eventually became Jinx, eventually became Hex, which is probably something that the kids know now. But at the time, it was called Envy. It was a 2-story nightclub. And one of my dear friends, Sammer, he used to own it. Rest in peace, Sammer. Rest in peace. Love Sammer. I miss him every single day. He was, honestly, it's hard for me to say without getting emotional, because he was one of the first people. He was the first person
to believe,
to give me a shot. Yeah. Like, it was on Facebook. We didn't know each other too well. And somebody needed a fill or something of that matter. And he just kind of hit me up, you know?
I know when he passed, that hit Milwaukee pretty hard. Very. And it's those type of people that they don't want the recognition, but they're in
he never wanted it.
But they're like the constructors of some of the biggest talents in the city, and now we know you're a part of that. I'm gonna do this for him. Bam. You know, it comes with that. Yeah. Do you feel now that in Milwaukee you've grown, you've elevated, if you had an opportunity to talk to the younger version of yourself, to the version you are right now, what do you feel you would say to that version?
I feel like I would say, even when you feel like you're being too patient, there is no such thing. You can't be late, you can't be early to something that's meant for you.
Yeah.
You really can't. If it's meant for you, and if you meet it halfway or even more some days, because it's going to take more, if you're willing to do that, it's always going to meet you. And the universe is going to meet you. And it is all a lot more intricate and designed for you than what you really know. You will figure it out.
So the reason why I brought that up in the middle of the question of barrier is, how did you overcome the barrier of that?
Yeah.
Of not being taken serious.
And leading back to Sammer, funny enough, when I went to go do that night at the club, that he called me in for, the security laughed at me.
Oh, God.
Mind you, I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but back then, I really wasn't.
Yeah,
I
really.
was tiny. I was probably coming up to guys and I came up to the security. And I had my 2 turntables in my hands. I didn't have a case or anything. And they looked at me. They were like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "I'm supposed to DJ upstairs tonight." And they're like, "What?" And they all started joking with each other about the fact that I was
you were going to be in the club.
They were like, "Bro, you're not even like tall enough to be in here right now." And I remember Sam kind of coming through, clearing those guys out the way. He's like, "No, he's supposed to DJ tonight. Come upstairs."
Wow.
Took me upstairs. Long story short, I ended up DJing for maybe like 30 minutes tops. And then there was like a water leak or something. And then they brought me to the main floor downstairs just to kind of like hang out. And I got to shadow a guy that would change my life forever. His name was DJ Short Round. He was a record breaker DJ.
Yeah.
After I seen him DJ there that night, it changed my entire life. But the way that I overcame kind of being doubted in that sense, or just kind of being challenged, was when it started becoming more real to me, I started gaining more confidence.
Yeah.
And those were things that it started becoming, and like you said, if I got a chance to talk to myself again, there's more of you'll know the path by walking it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gonna light up.
Can I want to add on to that. This started off with a vision, and I've just walked the path. I've literally walked the path. And this hasn't come easy because you have your highs and lows. There's moments where you're going to want to quit.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them moments are moments where you get your first opportunity and it don't go as planned.
Oh, no, you tank.
You feel like, and you just got to applaud that, you know what I mean, to be given a shot like you were given, that you still here and you still cranking out. Now, something that I feel is very special and something unique in your journey is that you were awarded Best Club DJ through Shepherd's Express. What was that moment like when you received not only the nomination, but then to acquire that award?
I think that it was a very special experience. Would I know exactly how special it was before I got there? No. But, and I feel like a lot of the things that I attribute is back to my family and back to those very humble beginnings of being from a place that's so small, right? And being a product of a single mother and knowing that my mother risked everything to get us here.
Yeah.
And that first time that I got the nomination, I remember it was 2014. It was the first time I had ever been nominated for anything. And at that point, I had done some stuff that was kind of in the neighborhood of, you know, kind of standing out. I made it on B100.7, super young at a young age.
Yeah.
And my mom was like ecstatic. Like she was like, "You're on the radio." And then that nomination came about, and it was something that in reality, I didn't know the kind of impact that it would have until I came across that moment. To be nominated was something that was like unheard of for me, and I was thankful just because of that, just to show my mom that my name was on a website, on a newspaper, and I'm nominated for something. And it just let me know that I was on the right path for that. And then when I won it, it was something that really just solidified what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like I had already been at the point where I felt like I was on the right path, but this was something that I was like, wow, my efforts are recognized by someone. And I honestly don't care who it's recognized by. It could be the grandma that's down the street. It could be anyone, and I'm thankful for it. But the fact that I got to hold up a piece of paper and an award and got to show it to my mom and tell her, hey, everything that you did, whatever it may have been, nothing was in vain. And I think that was, and it was at the Milwaukee Art Museum. I've been thankful enough to win that award now 3 times. Yeah. And the most recent time that I won it was last year, 2024, which was kind of a full circle moment because it's 10 years from the
10
original.
years from the, dang, okay.
Yeah, so that was a very special moment for me. That was the moment for me that I felt like wanted to show my mom that. And it meant a lot to me.
What do you, nightlife, it's big. It's where you strive and you know what I mean? You've made a name for yourself. To have a residency at one of the most iconic spots in Milwaukee, Room 7, which also it was 720 for those that really need to hear it. What has that been like? And, to follow so many great DJs that have been in there, how do you capture the energy of the nights that you DJ?
So I feel like a big part in nightlife, there are such things as residencies, right? Yeah. And a residency is obviously like an extended amount of stay or a time being that you're going to be at a nightclub on a specific night, and you have a residency. And thankfully for me, this isn't my first rodeo as far as the residencies go. Mm-hmm. I've had a number of residencies at other clubs that have allowed me to sort of hone in on knowing how to keep things fresh. Yeah. I've had residencies at Bodega. I've had residencies at Dick's when Dick's was open. Yeah. I had residencies at Caña.
Man, you saying all these clubs,
crazy. Yeah. And honestly, being a part of the scene for so long, going as far back as 2010, and seeing where we've been, where we are, and where we're heading, and kind of encapsulating a musical experience for everyone involved and keeping it fresh on a weekly basis is very important. You got people that come in and celebrate their birthdays, their engagements, whatever it may be. Last thing that you want to go in there, a DJ sucks. Yeah. They'll never be back.
Man, we went and don't. Man.
No, say who it is. Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But everyone has a story about a terrible DJ.
No. Me, the last time I was at 7, I quit drinking going on 4 years ago. Yeah. But nightlife for me, I cut short as far as the clubs go.
Which I'm very proud of you, because that part of the nightlife is not something that I personally, if you're gonna have longevity in doing something, you can't delve too deep into that.
And it's a fine line. Yeah. It's a fine line. But one of the times I ended up at Room 7 was after my 2017, my 10-year reunion with my classmates, my graduating class, and we all went to, it's over on 3rd Street, but then we all agreed to go to this club after, man, and I always remember it because I was just like, bruh. Doubles there. It was insane. I was like,
this is a quadruple.
This is a quadruple,
especially in Wisconsin. I feel like it's a topic we don't speak about like too much because it's so normalized. Yeah. But drinking culture in Wisconsin is almost to the point where it's like, hey, if you're not drinking, you're not cool. Yes. Right? If you're not like that peer pressure when people come up to you and they're like, hey, a shot, we got you a shot. Mm-hmm. And there's something wrong with you if you don't drink it. Like, why isn't this person participating? And I don't think that people realize like the actual gravity of it, like how many drunk counties we have here and how drinking, especially in wintertime, is something that is so prevalent. You got people that got DUIs after nightlife and things of that matter, and it can be
I
problematic.
will tell the United States of America, we are the drinking capital.
We are.
We are.
Oh, we are.
But, you know, to be on the straight and narrow, responsibly DJing, understanding that, you know what I mean, you're basically the essence of what a night time is, with people enjoying themselves. Who have been mentor guides that you feel has helped you harness this type of greatness you have from within?
I'm glad that you asked that, because I have some guys that honestly, and I've got no shame admitting it, that if they weren't around, I'm not going to say I'd be super lost, but I wouldn't be even a fraction of what I am today. And for those guys, probably one of my more notable residencies that I've had in the past was 618. Obviously now it's called the 8 or Element. And through there, I wasn't always the closing DJ. After I got that shot with Envy and Sammer, more clubs started turning their attention to who I was and what I was able to do on a dance floor. And one of those nightclubs was 618. Through there, I was able to land one residency that spanned maybe about like 8 years. Yeah. And through that residency is where I originally met DJ O. DJ O. It's DJ O. Everybody knows it. He's on fire. He's on fire. Everybody knows it.
He did my cousin Josie. Yeah. Josie and Dave's wedding. And it was dope. I went up to him. I'm like, dude, I'm a huge fan. You know.
Yeah. And so DJ O, that first part of the residency, I was always the opener. So we're talking about like 9 till 12, 10 till 12. I was the opener. And we're talking about some pretty like big events. Like they always had celebrities in and out of there. And I was just kind of like the Latino kid in the background, just looking at all these celebrities and all these DJs. And I'm like, and that residency happened to feature one of my other favorite people in the world, not just Milwaukee, Reggie Brown.
Yeah, dude, man.
You got to give me a siren for Reggie.
Yeah, I do,
give me a
bro.
siren for Reggie.
Man, let me tell you that we did 2 interviews with Reggie.
Amazing.
The first one that we did, not to give too much, but someone stepped away from the camera. And in the midst of him saying Kanye West, Michael Jordan, all these
he's met
legendary names.
If there is a celebrity, Reggie Brown is taking a picture with them. Like, if it's a birthday, if it's a death, unfortunately, like Reggie Brown is gonna upload a picture. Like recently, like rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. He passed away. Yeah, he uploaded a picture with Hulk Hogan. Man, I'm like, you're kidding me right now.
I will tell you this. So when I rebranded with the logo and everything, mind you, I was still consistent with it, but I felt like a rebrand was necessary. I called him back and I'm like, yo, I got these cameras. This is going to make you look Hollywood. Yeah. He's like, but are you going to have somebody by the camera? It was a punch in the gut. I'm like,
Reggie is prepared.
I'm like, Reggie, I promise you. And he's like, all right, let's get it.
And Reggie was one of those people that, I mean, honestly, the things that, just very simple things and down to the complex things that, the experience that he has in show business and knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it was something that in the first part of that residency, I got to be under DJ O, got to see Reggie as a host, and eventually DJ O had other affairs and he needed to go out of town for. Things changed a little bit, and DJ New Styles came in.
Oh, okay.
And New Styles, for me, it changed my entire life. The things that I would see that guy do, first of all, DJ O is one of the most talented musical guys. Like, let's give him his flowers.
For sure. Yeah.
And then and seeing DJ O's musical power and what he was able to do from a musical standpoint, and then getting to also experience New Styles was, for me, what made me such a powerful dance floor DJ, because I spent 7 to 8 years behind the backs of 2 of the most
legendary guys, and eventually
something switched. Eventually, I became the closer.
Yeah.
And in that same residency for the next 3 to 4 years, I got the opportunity to perform with Cardi B.
That's
I
right.
got the opportunity to open up for Lil Wayne.
Damn, my boy.
I got the opportunity to meet Mace.
There we go. Man, Mace. Man, if there's anyone I could meet and say, hey, I want to interview you, Mace is that man.
It is.
Get jiggy with it.
What is it? M-A$E.
Yeah.
And it was something that, and then a few other celebrities as well, that really played good company in the sense of it really was just sharpening me up at a really young age. Before I was 20, before I was 21, it was sharpening me up to the point of seeing how these artists came and did shows.
Yeah.
And the way that kind of impacted me moving forward was I developed like a motto from these guys. And thankfully to Reggie, and I attest this all the way to Reggie, Reggie has always told me, he's like, Breezy, everything is a show.
Yeah.
Everything is a show. He was like, you go check out a movie. You go out and you go to a restaurant and they put your plate down. Everything is a show. He's like, every gig you do, treat it like a show.
Yeah.
People are there for an experience. They're there for a show.
Yeah.
And those were some of the guys that, for me, aside from the club owners and other people that I've met been great in the industry, those were the guys that, for me, were instrumental in kind of moving me forward and teaching me things that I otherwise would have taken me decades to learn. So shout outs to them.
Shout out to all of them, man. And they definitely shaped the culture within Milwaukee. And you gotta appreciate it, especially for us. We grew up around the same time.
Yeah.
Who's a dream collaboration you would love to have?
Are we talking person or brand?
We talking both. Forget it.
What are we collaborating on, I guess is the question.
I don't know. I mean, you do DJing. So.
Yeah. I would say the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like being a Milwaukee native, it's something that, and I'm blessed enough to know people that work within the organization. Shout outs to DJ Shauna.
Yeah.
One of the most amazing people in this world.
If you get a hold of her,
I will.
Tell her, let's get this going, bro.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely will. I'll hit her up, and she's such a sweet, kind, fun-loving person that I know she's moved the culture forward, even in ways that people are not even aware of. Like, there are artists that strive for airplay, and so many other things that were not happening until recently. That she's been in position to play at these games, and she's been in position to be able to make it on a global level and handpick these curations. So seeing the amount of influence that comes with that and the way that she's able to touch the community through sports, and seeing the organization and how the organization is, that's something that, for me, to collaborate with them on any level. I got to do a halftime show one time for the Orlando Magic. It was my friend Ishtar.
Ishtar, okay,
Yes.
I've heard so much about him.
Yes.
Never met him, but
Amazing
I've heard
guy.
about him. I did have Wave on, and that was the first time I
Shout
heard.
outs to Wave Chappelle.
Shout out to
man.
Wave Chappelle.
Amazing. Wave Chappelle's amazing.
But that was the first time I heard his name.
Yeah.
And then shout out to all 414 podcast, Hectic and Illy. They just recently did, they started off this podcast show. Before they started it, they reached out, and Illy's like my cousin.
Shout outs to
That's
Illy.
family. But I gave him. We talked. I said, look, this is what I did. You know what I mean? But not to take anything. They are right in this wave, but they did a review on this show, and that's where I finally heard Ishtar's music, and I'm just like, it was his biggest hit.
Yeah.
And this was like millions of views.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
He's talented.
Ish is somebody who, honestly, I can't even put it into words. I started off a fan of his music. So for people out there who don't know about Ishtar, Ish was the first Milwaukee artist to headline Summerfest.
Yeah.
10 p.m., biggest stage that they got, headlined it and sold it out. And I remember I used to be a fan of his music, and I used to think to myself, I love the messaging, I love the artistry, I love everything. And then getting to meet the person and eventually becoming his DJ, and we toured twice in the United States. The first time that we toured was with an artist named Futuristic, and then the second time that we toured was with an artist named Max. And both of those were wonderful experiences, getting to go all around the United States, playing venues, getting to do what I love, New City every night. And Ish is honestly one of the most amazing people. And through Ish, I met Wave Chappelle.
There we go.
And Wave, crazy. Wave is
his history with Milwaukee is crazy.
Such a talented, you know.
I mean, it even goes to his dad.
Yeah.
His dad is, you know what I mean?
Greatness.
Man, it's just a bloodline. You know, what do you feel is a true milestone that has defined your career all in one?
Are we talking accomplishments, or are we talking from a personal
standpoint?
Accomplishment. Accomplishment-wise, there's an amount to choose from, but I think the biggest accomplishment is never been on paper. The accomplishment has never been something that I was able to. It wasn't an artist that I opened up for. It wasn't a celebrity that I met. It wasn't a nightclub that I rocked. I think that my biggest accomplishment has hands down been being able to connect with people and make a difference. And that sounds cliche, right? But I think that people...
It's not.
Thank you.
It's not.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that people have this saying where they say, it's just business. It's not personal. But what is business constructed of? People.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Network.
It's constructed.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and it is people, and it is emotions, and it is how you make people feel. And I think that my biggest accomplishment has been that I've always treated, literally when I walk into the club, I'm going to greet everyone.
Yeah.
Like we've got a bar back at Room 7. It's funny, he's Colombian.
Okay, got you.
So when I walk in, like I remember the first 2 nights that I DJ, like he was kind of like standoffish. And then I was like, hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? And then he was like, hola, ¿cómo estás? I was like, Cristian, mucho gusto. And then like and now we have whole 10, 15 minute conversation. So I think my biggest accomplishment has been to hear other people's stories and getting to connect with people and making a difference in people's lives.
Man, with this type of answer, now I want to hear personal. What is a personal milestone for you?
A personal milestone for me, I have a son. Okay. In the midst of me mentioning the fact that I started DJing when I was 13, I had my son when I was 15, 16.
Wow.
Yeah, at a very young age. So in the middle of like a tumultuous figuring out of what I'm going to do in my life, here goes this very real permanency. And I think that what kind of changed was the fact that how does my son view me?
Yeah.
I spoke to his mother recently, and she brought something up to me that even as a father, I don't think of. And sometimes I think that like as fathers, we don't really think of, like, we think of, oh, I'm going to do this for my son today. I'm going to do this for my son next week. I'm going to do this for him next year. And we do. But we don't really sit back and think like, how does my son view me?
I relate to you on so many levels with this, because if you were to ask me 4 years ago, going on 4 years ago, and this had a big part in why I quit drinking, what was my biggest fear? It was that my children see me as failure. What am I going to show for when, God forbid, if something happens? You know what I mean? And through this journey that I have done, I have finally claimed the potential from within. And for you to even be saying this, bro, look at me. Look at the goosebumps, man. Kudos to you, bro.
Kudos to you.
And I just want to say this. Your son's going to be very proud of you. When this episode drops, this is going to be, I will say, you know what I mean? I recently had my oldest come live with me now, my oldest son.
How's that been?
And it's just excitement every day.
Right? It's like you get to be somebody's hero every day.
Every day. And, you know, seeing the relationship, because I have a 5-year-old son too. I have 4 kids, right? And I have twins. I have a 15-year-old, and then I have a 5-year-old.
My boy been busy.
But you know what I mean? The two boys, seeing them really over the summer, and now I'm gonna get to see it all the time.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And to, like you said, be their hero.
Yeah.
Let's take this off me, get back to you.
Yeah.
Your son.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Your son gets to see you be, you know what I mean? You are his hero. How old is he, by the way?
15.
15.
Yeah.
Man, my boy said, yep,
Looking
there.
at me dead in the eyes.
Oh,
He's
for
right
real.
there. Oh yeah, he's 15.
Do you get the mood swings too, or what's up, man?
You know what it is.
When it
comes down to a teenager, teenagers enter, and for all my parents out there, teenagers enter this like standpoint where they become too cool for everything.
For real.
And I think I finally figured it out why. They around that age we had to kind of deal with, they are becoming very aware of a social construct, or just of constructs that like are aside from themselves.
Yep.
How they perceive and they react to that is completely different. You think about what these children deal with in not to get too far off topic, but these children deal with so much. We deal with potential wars. We deal with so many politics. We deal with sicknesses, just a lot of instability. So thinking of a teenager in the modern climate and how they deal with their emotions or their aspirations or whatever it may be, I can see that. I can see how they try to like shelter that. And I can see how they try to like kind of just be not, you know, oh, I really don't care about it too much, but the whole time.
It's how they maneuver, bro.
Yeah, they care about it way too much.
They think too much into it.
Exactly. They just don't know what to do with that. And I understand it, but yeah, teenagers, they're going through that.
They don't realize, dude, we been there.
Yeah.
I tell my oldest, her name is Mackenzie. Shout out to Mackenzie.
Shout out to Mackenzie.
But I tell her, I was the only Xavier till my junior year. So I really was able to create a name for myself.
Yeah.
And then with the help of my cousin went to the rival school, but he had a big name over there. And just those type of connections, those play into those social infrastructures. Yeah. And I try telling my kids, like, you have to understand, I understand what you're going through, the type of changes, and I understand what social life is. Like, but you have to, if the advice that I could give to the kid that I was back then, just be yourself and hone that.
Yeah.
Because the quicker you do that, I mean, that's really what life is. That's what you get to.
I'm glad that you say that. And piggybacking off of that, it's funny because I feel like through adolescence, going into your teens, and then coming back to your like later 20s, you're like later and like latter 20s and like early 30s is just you getting back to who you were.
Yep. Ooh, eat. Shh. Damn, look at two dads just having a casual
Dadding it out.
Dadding it out.
Dadding it
Hashtag dadding out. But you know, where do you see yourself in the next 5?
Honestly, music has been a huge part of my life, and art has been a huge part of my life. And the way that I see things just moving forward is just more permanent ways of me doing what I'm doing now. So, for example, first of all, I love cooking.
Yeah,
I love cooking. I feel like it's like so not like I'm Puerto Rican, but like I really do love it. Like I love it.
Yeah,
I see myself still being at some capacity in the nightlife, more in an ownership role, more in a curating role. I have had creative director positions where I've been lucky enough to be able to map out events, festivals, things of that matter. So I have a lot of experience in that way, but just in more permanency and more in ownership and more in able to convey an idea and experience to people. So possibly nightclub ownership, restaurant ownership, creative directing, residencies moving forward, and just kind of, I think my retirement plan is after I clock in at about like 45, I'm going to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off my shoes. I am going to sit on a balcón. I'm going to sit on the edge of a hillside and drink my cafecito.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to fade into whatever, but I have some stuff that I want to get done from here to then, obviously. Yeah. But that is my ultimate goal. I feel like as long as I'm able to impact people's lives the way that God intended me to, and the way that this universe is sort of we were talking about alignment earlier.
Yeah.
It has all aligned for me in a way. So I can make a prediction of where it is going to end up, but do we really even know? Until then, I'm taking every single opportunity I can to have the best day ever, every single day.
Man, hey, I salute you, bro.
Thank you, brother. Right back.
Oh, man. Well, you know, I always say this is the most important question of the interview. What advice would you give to not only our youth, but aspiring DJs that are coming up right now? Some that have started at the age that you started at.
Yeah. Where's my camera at?
Yeah,
Where's
right here.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Go ahead.
One thing that I feel like I have to be able to tell a child or a person, an adult, I feel like this influences us all together. You were born. You were born with your name. You were born with your eyes. You were born looking away, talking a certain way, having certain family members. Who you are, you can never allow someone to devalue it. You are, just by your existence, a 1 in 8 billion individual, a construct, an idea, whatever it may be. No one can tell you what your value is, and never allow someone's expression or the way that they treat you to be a reflection of what your value is.
Yeah.
Only you can realize your value. Only you can create your value. But above above everything else is you must realize that you even existing and breathing is valuable. You are special. It's you. It's you. Nobody has your name. Nobody walks like you. Nobody talks like you. And even if you don't have everything that you want now, you will eventually get it. If you want it bad enough, and if you push it forward bad enough, and if you keep going every single day, it can be you. You can be whatever you want. But more importantly than anything, remember that you're you. There's value in that. Value is subjective to different people. I was telling my little cousin the other day, he wears a size 12 shoe. First of all, he's a kid. He's a kid wearing a size 12 shoe. But I told him, I was like, let me tell you something, Joni. I was like, if you were to buy a new pair of shoes at size 12, and you came and you tried to give them to me, they wouldn't be of much value to me, would they? Because they would be a size 12 and I wear a size 9. Like there's not that much intrinsical value there. You get what I mean? I was like, so treat that when it comes down to like a social contract and construct and how people make you feel. I was like, your value is not always going to be perceived properly. It's never going to be given to you. Like there's so many different things. So just always remember that. Like you existing is valuable enough. And if you can move the chains forward and be positive, even better.
Brother, I appreciate you so much. I think, I love all my interviews. You feel me? But these are this interview in particular is one that, man, every so often you get somebody to bring the essence of who you are out, and you did that today, and I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time out. Thank you for being a part of this. What are ways people could connect with you?
On Instagram at DJ Breezy. If you want my phone number, I'm always down to just have a phone conversation. I don't answer texts all that way. But the reason why I say my phone number is because whether it be an artist needing advice, a kid needing some guidance, a friend of mine needing some creative type of conversation or anything that matter, in any capacity that I could be there for you, I will try to be there for you. So Instagram mainly, but if not, I'll give you my phone number for any of those out there that want it. Just give me a phone call.
Damn. All right, man. Well, again, I appreciate you coming on. And with that being said, Spearhead out.